I am at, I have to say, one of my absolute favorite VDP estates, to be honest, Sandro. I mean, I told you before, you know that. So I'm back in Saale-Unstrut, just coming from another great estate, Matthias High, and now I'm sitting here at Böhme Töchter. Like I said, actually last year, under your terrace.
With beautiful weather, I think, when I remember right.
It was exactly the same last year. We had, I think, 30 degrees Celsius, and today it's like 34 or something, which should be, I think, the highest temperature. And you had beautiful weather for your 40th birthday yesterday, right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel being 40 now?
There's no difference between now and yesterday or the day before. So always a little bit stressed, always a little bit tired. But I'm grateful to be what I am right now, to do what I can do. And now I'm doing wine since nearly 15 years. It's a long term. With nice experiences, and I'm pretty looking forward
to the next 15 at least
40 years.
40 years.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maybe I think it's kind of like interesting thing, right? Because I mean, 40 for I think many is like a turning point, like turning 30, turning 40, these round birthdays. And I usually say to winemakers that I have a little bit of feeling that you need 20 vintages or 20 years as a winemaker to really find yourself and really know your style. So now you have 15 years. Is it like a moment of reflection where you think like how to go on and develop further as a winemaker?
There's always a development because every year is different. So, because of the nature, because of the weather conditions, everything is changing, the market is changing, the people, the consumption is changing. You always have to find ways, you always have to clarify ideas for yourself, to focus different things, to find your style, to find your way. And this is the experiences, the bunch of experiences is at the end the way
that you're going.
Yeah. And the style. Yeah.
That comes out in the bottle at the end. Beautiful. With that reflection, let's maybe go to our first official question that you get, like everybody else. If you wouldn't be a winemaker, what's your alternative in life?
I would be probably a treehouse builder.
A treehouse builder?
Yes. I love to work with wood constructions. And I love the material wood, and it's also like making a wine. You can put in your own philosophy in the constructions, and the treehouse is a very specific type of tiny house where you can find everything in it or nothing, and it's a very dynamic work in progress.
And now I'm looking like into the background. I mean, you showed me already like last year your small little like new tasting room that you're building here in the courtyard. Where is it? Is it finished?
No, it's not finished. Actually, it will be not a tasting room. It's sorry for the correction.
Your office, it will be, right? I remember now.
Yeah. It has this history because our winery develops from a traditional family winery into a normal business with normal employees. So we had to find new
space and rooms for
our employees, and new work processes, and this is one thing, and hopefully we will finish it at the end of the year. So we will see. It's not so easy for us right now because we want to make most of the things by ourselves,
Mm.
and I have to find the time for it. My project right now outside is a treehouse for the kids, so there's always work to do.
This is something that you really like realize the more winemakers you visit, especially like the winemakers at your size of estate, right? Below 10 hectares, very dynamic, very family driven. It's like you always think like it should be enough to just make wine. But then all these winemakers always have so many like different side projects going on where I'm like always very impressed where you take all this energy.
Some make music, some make are artists or treehouse builders, or just like Matthias chefs.
Have a gastronomy with 300 people at the weekend coming there, right?
It's crazy, right? And he's standing in the kitchen.
I was very impressed to hear that actually. However, you all managed that, fairly impressive. But second question for you, of the official question part. You are a winemaker today, not a treehouse builder. Only on the side you do that. If you and you, I mean, you work together here at the estate with your wife, right, Marika, and her sister actually, right, is also involved because the estate is called Böhme and Töchter, Böhme and daughters, and these are the two daughters, right?
Yes.
And if you look at your estate's philosophy today and the style you make wine, is there like a specific person or like a specific experience coming to your mind where you say this really influenced our philosophy?
All the things we had the last 20 years. Marika and me, we are a couple since 20 years. We had so much nice experiences, but also it went always up and down, and all the positive and the negative things developed us and our way. Specific persons, no, there's always a bunch of persons like the group Breitengrad 51 or the VDP members. You always taste, you always look, you see how people make wine, how people solve the problems they had, and you find always you just try to include these
best ideas, so to say, right?
Best ideas, yeah. You the extract of it and improve it here and find your own way. So
it's I think in English there's a term called cherry picking. So you take, so to say, the best from everybody, right, and include it in your own philosophy.
Yes, because there is no perfect or specific way for your winery, because every room is different. Every winery has different cellars. Every winery has different storage conditions for the wines and conditions outside in the vineyards. Our vineyards are mostly very steep, and maybe 40% of them are nearly flat. You can drive in with the tractor, but it's also everything made by hand.
Yeah.
So there is no specific way. You always have to pick the cherries.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let's move on to our third question for you for the introduction round to get you a bit better to know you and your personality as a bottle of wine.
I think I'm a Chardonnay.
You're a Chardonnay.
Because it reflects the nature, it reflects the soil. It's a wine that is not too loud. It's more it's very focused on the things. It's not a very expressive one, not a very expressive grape.
So you are a bottle of Chardonnay. Interesting. A wine with many layers. Oak aged? Bit malolactic? No?
Malolactic, yeah. A little bit oak, high acidity, a little bit more
stringent,
right?
and not so loud.
Not so loud, a little bit shy.
With aging potential.
Yes, okay.
Beautiful.
40 years maybe.
40 years at least. Love it. Beautiful description. So, fourth question for the introduction round before we get and taste some wine too. Nature.
Is everything.
What does it mean? Is everything?
Nature is everything. Without nature, we can't do what we do. We can't do what we love. We have to be respectful towards nature. We have to work. We have to do everything what is possible for us. Yeah, to be respectful with the nature. And we have to find ways to manage it. That nature will be here for the next generations.
So with those words, could you briefly introduce the VDP estate Böhme Töchter to us? Who are you? What are you doing?
I'm Sandro. I'm 40 years old and I'm the winemaker together with my wife. And my wife and me, we are managing nearly everything in our winery. We have 2 employees. They are managing the vineyards outside. And Marika and me, we are now the 3rd generation, which is on the map. And the first vineyards are planted in 1985.
1985.
And from Marika's grandfather and his son, Frank, founded the winery in 2002. Since 2017, Marika and me, we are managing the things.
In charge of the winery,
Yes.
Okay. And then you are a member of the VDP since?
3 years now.
3 years now, okay. That's fairly new, so to say. And we
were number 200.
Number 200.
Yes, I think 200 or 202. Yes.
All right. Good. We can also dive into that a little bit later, but I think before we get to that, should we taste some wine actually? And
okay.
You have something. Yeah, you said Chardonnay. That's your personality. So I think we should try some Chardonnay, right?
You already had it?
I already helped myself a tiny bit while having this break. So, Chardonnay. That is something that is, as I remember, very important to you, right? Really?
We were the pioneer with the Chardonnay here in our region. So we were the first one who planted this grape in Saale-Unstrut, and so we planted 2006. So the roots are pretty old right now, and they are going very deep into the stony, chalky soil. Chardonnay reflects perfect the chalky soil types of our region, and it's always a little bit salty and always not that fruity. It's more rich with herbs.
Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see the herbal style as a kind of signature of Saale-Unstrut in general as a region, also for the Rieslings, for example. I think it really comes out nicely, herbal tea, dried herbs, but also, I mean, clearly malolactic, very substantial. You had it in the lees too, I assume. Yeah, so really a lot of power in the nose, a lot of depth. Salty finish, also something I personally associate with Saale-Unstrut.
25% wooden barrels, and the rest is made in stainless steel, spontaneous fermented, slow fermented, pretty warm fermented. So you don't have this aromas like pineapple, or you have more these.
I think it's somewhere between orchard and stone fruit, I want to say. I mean, it's not clear-cut green apple, and it's not ripe peach. It's somewhere in between.
Yes, it's fresh, delicate, but not heavy.
Not heavy, yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's a VDP.Ortswein. You play with some things in the cellar, but you don't put the magic button like the VDP Großes Gewächs Chardonnay.
Okay, understandable. But you also have the Chardonnay as a GG, right?
Yes.
Exactly. And I just think like it's such kind of pioneering work to think about Chardonnay here in this region, because I mean, let's go back a little bit in history. I mean, very briefly said, I mean, we are in Eastern Germany, right? It's one of the two Eastern German wine growing regions. There's a GDR socialist heritage where like a lot of wine was produced, mass production for the
For a very
cooperatives.
tiny a group of people, and most of the peoples here in the GDR, they only could buy wines from Moldavia
And Bulgaria and so on,
right,
exactly,
yes.
yeah. So interesting heritage, but also like that meant that certain, I always do the comparison with Saale-Unstrut a little bit to Pfalz, because there are some similarities from the soil composition, right, in general. And this also like lead to a situation, I mean, we see it in your portfolio. You have Kerner, you have Bacchus, you have all kinds of other interesting varieties. You have Blauer Zweigelt, but of course also the Burgundy varieties and Riesling, right? But if you look at Kerner, Bacchus, Müller-Thurgau, that is a traditional Saale-Unstrut, right?
That's correct, yeah, because most of the vineyards are still planted with grapes, which are planted in the GDR time. So, of course, we have a lot of grape varieties, because in the GDR time you only could plant what you got.
Had available, yeah,
Yes.
of course, yeah. You.
And I mean, Müller-Thurgau, Kerner, Bacchus are varieties with a very simple language.
Yeah.
And they don't need much sun. They need more the cooler climate.
Yeah.
Yes. But we have the climate change, and it's getting warmer and warmer, and the next generation is on the map in Saale-Unstrut, and with new ideas. And I think the wine growers and winemakers, they understand and understood is the best for our soil. For example, what can I plant on our soil types, or what reflects mostly this chalky soil, for example, limestone. And I think this is the turning point right now. We have the old vineyards with Kerner, Müller-Thurgau, a lot of Dornfelder, a lot of Portugieser, very interesting grape varieties, but with a tiny future in Germany, for example.
Of course, yeah.
And we have new vineyards or replanted vineyards with the modern traditional grape varieties like Weißburgunder, Chardonnay, Riesling.
And Spätburgunder, of course, too, right? Also traditionally seen, yeah. And I mean, I always remember from your VDP side, there's this quote, which I really, really love. At home, it's still the best. Can you guide us through it? Because I mean, as I understand it, you have been out, you have seen like different stuff in the world, but you also came back home here to Saale-Unstrut, right? And realized actually that you have some unique potential to work with here. Can you maybe put some words to, yeah, how you experienced like your journey there as a winemaker and coming back here, and what you work with and what you see as potential in Saale-Unstrut?
Every family business has a potential, and you can find, when you are a person which is interested in things and interested in tradition and so on, you always can find your tasks. Kleiner or Saale-Unstrut is has a very dynamic, I think, development in the last years. And it's interesting to make wine here in this difficult area, because you all the paths are not too. You can see it in the wineries. They all are established or founded after the German War fell down, and it's a very small area with, for this small area, a lot of wineries. It happened in a very short time.
The whole development here.
Yes. And now we have to be focused on other things. So the wineries are established. They have good vineyards. They have all the techniques in the wineries, and also the knowledgement with the next generation, because they were in Geisenheim and so on. But now we have to be focused on the market. We have to be focused on the climate change. So this is what I meant, that we are like a diamond.
There's a lot of potential still to like get out of it, right? I mean, I talked to Matthias Hay about it, also like ask him.
Nothing is done.
Nothing is done. And talking about marketing, right? I mean, we have the problem that Saxony and Saale-Unstrut, as the two eastern regions, are only 1.5% of the German acreage. So
it's like nothing.
It's like nothing. So naturally, there's an explanation why they're fairly unknown even in Germany. But yeah, they are unknown, right? And one of the big things is like to put Saale-Unstrut onto the world map and say, hey, here's something unique going on. Here's some good, as you say, development going on, some young winemakers, good people, good dynamics, good wines, right? Also your wine style. I mean, if we look at the Chardonnay, the alcohol is at 13%, I guess, right? Or 12 even only. So super low, super light styled wine.
30% mash fermented.
Yeah.
So it's that's the reason for the floral aromas and a little bit phenolics.
So you're also like a VDP member since like 3 years. How does that support you, help you in terms of developing as a winery?
It helps because the legal frame of the VDP, not only the quality system, all the rules of the VDP, they are at the beginning a little bit strange, too much, maybe, because we are a small winery. Most of the tasks are managed by 2 people, Marika and me. So it's a lot of work to do to be a member of the VDP. But it helps to clarify your style, the price strategies, the quality ideas behind the wines. That is a very important point. And another important point is you have the entry for higher restaurants.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was just thinking about asking you next, because if I also understand or remember correctly from our conversation last year when I was here, I mean, you have a clear ambition to be in the star restaurants, right? Around Germany, but also around the world. That is a little bit the way how you make wines, especially with your GGs.
That would be nice, yeah. But the times are strange right now and difficult, because the production side is the costs of the production side is very high, very high right now. Also for the restaurants, and I think they are in a changing process as well to find solutions for the problems they have, and it's a little bit like our business, I think. And hopefully there will be a turning point in the next years that the people are motivated to buy new wines, to buy wines from smaller regions.
Let's taste the second wine. You brought some Spätburgunder for us.
So both wines are very dry. So the Chardonnay has below 1.5 residual sugar. This one is below 0.5. So
2022 vintage.
22 vintage.
Very hot vintage also here, I assume. I mean, you have 14% alcohol, so this is already an indication.
Yes. I mean, the actual there is a point in the ripening, in the ripeness of the grapes, and sometimes there's just 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah.
And then the actual is exploding.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned before, we are a small winery, so we can't react so spontaneous to have the team for the harvest together. And sometimes it takes 1 or 2 days to prepare everything, to have the team together, and then we can harvest it.
It's lovely that you repeat that, because I remember that actually exactly from last year when we had our conversation and cellar tour, that you exactly explaining the same situation of, you as a small winery, sometimes you make these mistakes, right? Where you then say like 2 days later, we should have gone 2 days ago and picked different grapes.
Yes.
Yeah, because suddenly the weather changes. And it's also interesting coming back to our discussion from the introduction.
It's always a learning process.
Exactly, and especially with global warming, right? Because suddenly no vintage is like the vintage before, or every time you have new challenges, right, to deal with.
And we are not a perfect winery. So we are just humans, and humans are born to make mistakes. So, but you learn with these mistakes more from more like as you would just doing everything right. So you have to make mistakes. To get better.
To get better, yeah,
yes.
And to develop and learn from them, right? And this is the most important thing: learning from the mistakes, right?
But the wine is not so powerful, like 14%. It's still fresh, and it's in the mouth very, very clear, and with a high acidity. It's a little bit fruity. It's very straight and compact, and the compact tannins, very fresh tannins. So you don't have a feeling of like a very fat-bodied Pinot Noir.
Also because, I mean, I think that's in general like a little bit also like your signature as a winemaker, right? The oak should support, but you should not feel it.
Not more.
Exactly, and this is really what I see in the wine. I mean, it's very true still to the Pinot Noir grape.
2 years in the barrel.
2 years. I mean, you don't feel that in my opinion at all, right? I mean, it's a little bit like scratchy, a little bit like nice chocolatey old oak touch, but what I really find striking is the acidity, as you say. It's really present on the palate, but the florality, actually, these like floral elements coming out, and this is actually beautiful in a certain regard, and a very nice fruit profile, ripe fruit profile.
Yeah.
I still think it's amazing, like piece of showing that Pinot Noir from this region here, from the 2 like Eastern German regions, is really something people should be aware about, right?
Red wine in general.
And it's coming up, right? At the moment, it's 20% of the production.
A little bit more. In our winery, it's nearly 30%. And I have the feeling it's becoming more and more important, because you don't have the red wine season, the traditional red wine season, winter term, for example, or people drink red. It's not that point anymore. So the people also buy red wines in summertime. This one is pretty warm because of the conditions today. But we serve our red wines normally a little bit chilled. And it supports the style. Achso, dann sind wir fertig.
Ja, wir sind ja.
Achso, okay.
Wiederhol das nochmal mit den Reserves are normally chilled.
Normally we served our red wines a little bit chilled because it supported the style of the red wines, and the people like it.
It's totally understandable, and this is also like what I often like discuss with the winemakers from Saxony and Saale-Unstrut, right? I mean, your style totally fits into the spirit of time because people want lighter, more structured, more acidity-driven wines. So, yeah, I see personally like a big like market potential for those regions, right? Yeah, that being said, I mean, naturally, we are very happy to see you in Copenhagen again at the Cool Climate Wine Summit. You have been here in 2025, so and
we are happy to attend.
Will be lovely, and I mean we do our best to promote like Saxony and Saale-Unstrut. I mean we often put them together because also like your VDP connection is working together, right? I mean you have one shared like initiative.
It's
you're
the only
good colleagues.
chance we have to work together.
Exactly.
To be a couple of members, to be transparent to each other.
Yeah.
To speak with each other. To be good colleagues, because we don't. That's the only way for us to solve all the big problems we have. To find ways together. It's not the time for a single player.
Yeah, especially when like your combined are 1.5% of the German total acreage, right? I mean, yeah. 5 years from now, our final question for you: where are you and where's Böhme Töchter?
Hopefully, I am, or me and my wife, we are a little bit wiser, and hopefully, in 5 years, we are still healthy. Our kids are healthy, and all things are sorted, like here on our side. So we are finished with all the constructions, and in 5 years maybe we have more clarified our way, and we are still here.
Beautiful. I love those closing thoughts. Let's cheers on that, Sandro, and see you latest in January in Copenhagen.
See you.